Hey guys, it's Michelle Tam of Nom Nom Paleo, here to show you how to make a paleo dessert. You should make my grain-free, gluten-free, super delicious cherry galette. For the crust, you need to make sure your ghee is super cold. So this is some ghee that I just took out of the jar. I put it in a piece of parchment and I stuck it in the fridge overnight so it is nice and hard. If it's warm out, this will melt pretty fast. Like this has been out for just maybe 5 minutes. And it's not quite as hard as I want it to be, but that's okay, we can work fast. You're gonna make the dough. I've got some cassava flour in here. You just throw it into a food processor. A little bit of tapioca flour. A smidge of maple sugar, coconut sugar also works. And just a little bit of salt. And I do this in the food processor because this way my warm hands won't, start melting everything. Like when you just pulse quickly with the food processor, you should be able to kind of chop up the ghee into the dough pretty easily. And then we're gonna crack in 1 large egg as well. Obviously no food processor. You can just use like a little pastry cutter to do it, or 2 forks. I'm just gonna pulse really quick. And of course, the first time it might kind of do a little cloud of flour, but it's okay. Oh, see, there it goes. So there it is. Really. We're gonna dump this into a bowl. Have some water and some ice. I'm gonna pour it in here. You do about like 2 tablespoons or so. And you don't want to go too crazy, you just kind of add a little bit. And then you kind of use a spatula. You could use your hands, but again, your hands will start melting. I always feel like it goes from just being powder to too wet in like almost a blink of an eye. So really just slowly add a little bit at a time. Okay, so this is good. You can see here that it's gonna hold together. It's not too wet. Okay, so you have a piece of dough that I can feel getting warm in my hands. So this is just gonna be a quick process where I'm gonna form it. It doesn't stick to my hands. I'm gonna form it into a nice kind of flat disc. I'm gonna cover this and I'm gonna stick it in the fridge for 30 minutes so it firms up and it's easy to roll out. Okay, so the dough has been chilling for about 30 minutes because you want it to be firmer, but not so hard that it's like impossible to roll out. And like if you have your dough in the fridge for a little longer than 30 minutes and it's a little too stiff, just leave it out for a little bit and just kind of wait for it to thaw. So, okay, so I've just scattered a little bit of cassava flour on a piece of parchment paper, and you can see that it's kind of cracking. Don't stress out, it'll be okay. I'm gonna just sprinkle a teeny bit on top. And so with this dough, again, rustic is good, so I can kind of start with my hands to kind of smush it into a circle. A rolling pin. You don't have a rolling pin, you can use like, a water bottle. Like one of those stainless steel water bottles works really well. And if you need to, sprinkle a little bit more of the cassava flour. You don't want to be super liberal because the more you add, the drier it'll be, but it's okay. So you want to roll this out into a circle as best as you can. So the diameter is about 12 inches, and having a piece of parchment helps you because I think the parchment is like 13 inches. So basically to the edge of the parchment. And there are cracks on the edge. No big deal, you just kind of smush them together. And if it seems a little dry, you can get a little bowl of water so that you can kind of stick things back together. But I know some people will be like, my dough doesn't look perfect. And that's okay. I swear it'll be okay. And you can have just a wacky looking tart and it'll be good. Okay, so I'm just gonna try to roll it as thin as I can and stop picking up pieces of dough everywhere because it'll never get to the diameter that I want. So I'm gonna stick this on a rim baking sheet and pop it in the fridge to stiffen up just while I make the filling. The cherry galette filling, super simple. Half a pound of cherries that I have to pit. If you don't have a cherry pitter, this is gonna be a pain. In fact, if you don't have a cherry pitter, you should just use blueberries. Half a pound of blueberries. You just toss it with the ingredients that I have and you don't have to worry about it. But if you have a cherry pitter, it's super simple. You just quickly pit a bunch of cherries. Half pound pitted cherries. We're gonna put in some maple sugar. Coconut sugar also works. A little bit of tapioca starch. This helps kind of make the filling gel a little bit so it doesn't ooze all over. And a little bit of lemon juice. And just a smidge of salt. People ask all the time, can you switch out the fruit? And yes, you can. Like blueberries are a great idea. I've done one with strawberries and cut stone fruit. The only thing is if you're using cut stone fruit or strawberries, it definitely is a little bit oozier. Blueberries and strawberries actually keep their shape pretty well. Here's your galette dough, already on a piece of parchment. Plop the cherry filling. So you want to put the cherries in the middle in a single layer. As you grab a sharp paring knife, you kind of cut from where the fruit is in the middle to the edge in 8 spots. So I do 4, at 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 9 o'clock. And then right in the middle so that you kind of can guesstimate like where it is at the 8th mark. And then now you want to just fold these over. And again, if your dough is a little bit soft, it's okay. Even if it cracks right on the edge, it'll be okay. I'm just gonna go around on the very bottom and kind of make sure that it's all sealed up. So then to make a nice shiny exterior, you can add an egg wash and brush over the top. I don't do the fruit, I just do the crust all the way to the bottom. Any places where you kind of want things to kind of seal up, like the edges, you might want to put a little bit extra. But again, 400 degrees, 30 to 35 minutes. All right, it's been 35 minutes and it's looking good. So the cherries are nice and bubbly. It'll actually, if you let this cool, it will actually gel up a little bit. That's perfect.